Woo! It's day 15, my friends. Halfway through the challenge. I thank you guys so much for committing to this. This is absolutely amazing. We're gonna do a little bit of inner thighs today. It's short, it's sweet, and you might not like me, but you'll love me tomorrow when the inner thighs feel so much better. So today we're gonna be starting with child's pose. Big toes together, knees apart. Extending arms forward, knees wider than the ribs. Pressing your hips back to your heels and forehead melts to the ground. Softening anything that is resistant to this practice. Just filling this body up with awareness. Imagine as awareness is water, just flowing through every single part of this vessel. Totally forgot to mention it, but today's recommended props are a blanket and 2 blocks. If you need to pause the video to go scoop up something, please do. Otherwise, you can do this practice without the blanket. It'll just be kind of hard, hard on the knees. On your next inhale, slowly come forward, shifting into tabletop. Shoulders over the wrist and the hips over the knees. Start to move the spine in every single direction you can think of. It's fluid, it's silly, it's grounding. It's getting us deeper into the awareness of this body. And then relax. We're going to go into half frog first. And this is where the blanket comes in handy. So I'm just going to show you from a different angle. So I'm going to place my blanket underneath. So my left knee and my left foot, or preferably mostly my left knee. My left foot is actually hanging off the mat a little bit, but that's okay. I'm going to extend right leg out. Another thing which happens, is I'm pretty tight in this pose, so I usually do use blocks to help myself stay up. I'm just going to demonstrate really quick. So dropping your left hip toward your left heel, the left toes are uncurled, and then we're going to turn. If you want more intensity, turn your right toes up to the sky. Pressing your hips back to that left heel, and then from here, if the head and the chest can't come to the floor, take blocks underneath the forearms to rest. This is not going to be incredibly long because it is incredibly intense, at least for me. But just finding some type of grounding, equanimous breath. See, as we come here to change the nervous system, we have to come here with an intention to breathe. One of the quickest ways to alter the nervous system is by breath. Driving through your elbows, start to lean forward. Turn your right foot back down if it was lifted, and then slowly pull the right knee up underneath the hip. Driving through your arms, round into your upper back. And then let's go for the other side. So extending left leg out. Reaching until you feel like it's at a good place. dropping your right hip towards your right heel. And then if you want more sensation, turning your left toes up to the ceiling. And this is a lot of sensation on this side. Again, we don't have to be stuck in our tight bodies. For those people that are tight like me, pretty damn stiff all their life, we don't have to stay here. Like we can work through it. It's not forever. It's only forever if we don't allow ourselves to be open to being open. I want you to kind of just unlock the chains, set yourself free. You have the key the whole entire time. We just have to spend the time and make taking care of this body a priority. And then slowly pressing through your elbows, lean forward, turn your left foot down, and then pull your left knee in. From here, coming back into table, let's do a few cat and cows here. So the inhale draws the belly button downwards, the heart lifts, shoulders roll down and back, and then exhale, curling through your tail all the way through your upper back, pressing chin to chest. Inhale, drawing the belly downwards, lift the heart up. Exhale, rolling through the spine. Inhale, opening it. Exhale, rolling. One more time, inhale. Exhale, chin to chest. And then we're going to go into frog pose. So it's basically the same thing. So there's two options for frog. Is either you're going to get your knees as wide as they'll go, turn the toes out. The knees are always in line with the ankles here. Pushing the hips back, dropping the elbows, dropping the head. Maybe even dropping the chest for some. So this is the first variation, or the first actual pose. A way to modify it would be to bring the big toes closer together, kind of like what we did on the other pose, and still pressing the hips back towards the heels. So it's not so much child's pose because the knees are still really wide, and the feet are not touching. They're still pretty far apart, yet a lot closer than regular frog. And again, you can allow yourself to support your head by your forearms, or maybe it goes to the ground. Maybe you use blocks here. But I want you to settle into what feels great for these inner thighs. I like to take a combination of both. I usually warm up with the second variation, the modification, and then once I feel really ready for it, I'll usually extend them out a little bit. Again, I wish you guys were taking a longer class with me. I like to hold these a little bit longer than what I'm going to give you today, just because I feel that they really make an impact. We don't stretch our inner thighs much, and when we do, life gets great. Happy inner thighs equals a happy life. If you're on your forearms and you like to visit this movement, just a very gentle rocking back and forth, bringing a little bit of dynamic stretching to this otherwise stagnant, still posture. It's not a huge movement, very micro. And then we're going to slowly straighten out the arms, lift the heart. I want you to just kind of push to one side and pull that right knee more in. And we're going to sit back onto the feet. If you can't sit back onto the feet, take a block or something underneath your butt. Make the feet go wide. So always a modification if we come here and you're feeling just too tight to sit back onto your heels. This is always a modification. Is to take a block underneath the butt. The feet are wider than the hips. But if you can, sit back onto the feet without the blocks. You can keep the blanket, you can move the blanket. It's not really needed. Allow the palms to open up on your thighs. Allow the shoulders to soften. Allow the chin to fall. Inhale, take the chin to the sky, pull the heart forward, arching the back. And then exhale, slide the palms to the front of the knees, round through your spine. Cat and cow. Inhale, pull the heart forward, roll the shoulder blades back. Exhale, rolling through the spine. Inhale, pulling the heart forward. Exhale, rolling through the spine. Inhale, open. Exhale, rolling. One more time. Inhale, pulling heart. Exhale, rolling back. And then release the hands to the mat. Back into table. If you have a blanket, move it out the way. And we'll bring it onto our backs. Let's find Baddha Konasana. Supta Baddha Konasana, which means butterfly on your back. Feet together, knees apart, palms open by the sides, or left hand on heart, right hand on belly. Eyes are closed, body heavy. Slowly bring the inner thighs back together with the use of your hands or not. Pull your knees to your chest, rock side to side on the lower back. And the knees remaining over the hips, arms off to the side like a T. Supine twist to close this practice, drop the knees to the right. As you look to your left, on your next inhale, bring it back to center, scoot the hips a few inches to the right, and then dropping the knees over to your left, taking your gaze to your right. On your next inhale, bring it back to center, pulling both knees into your chest. Wrap your forearms around your knees if possible, forehead to the knees, inhale. And on an exhale, finding Shavasana. Palms open, eyes closed, body heavy. A time to observe, a time for rest. You are more than welcome to stay here the whole entire time, or however long you want to remain here. I'll leave you here. I thank you guys so much for participating, for sharing your energy, for sharing your essence. This is a practice of self-love. No perfection, no judgment, no expectations. Just allow yourself to be. Namaste.